Hey everybody, how you doing? Sebastian here, coming at you, showmethat.com, and we got the gospel guy. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. This is the busiest man in New York right here.
No.
I mean, every time I call him, hey, I'm working on this album. I'm working on that album. I'm working on this album. I'm working on that project. But that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. I wouldn't say I'm the busiest. I wouldn't say I'm
But hey, we're here today to talk about this keyboard. Very interesting keyboard. He hit me up. He said, man, we got to talk about this board here. We have to talk about this board. So let's talk about it. A lot of people are looking at this. I mean, we all know we've seen Mike playing them. We've seen different people playing them, and people have been like looking at Nord. Now, I've heard different comments. Some people say it's a little complicated to get around. Some people that are used to motifs say it's a little bit more work to set up what I want to set up. But now you've had it for a while, so you're going to kind of give us a little, let us know an inside view of after you've worked with, what, for about a month now?
I got it the first week of July.
Okay.
Right after the 4th.
Okay, so you roughly had for almost 2 months. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about it.
Well, we talked about the Nord piano for years, and people. I have friends that, people know me. I've been, this board's been. I like the board. I've always liked the board. You're seeing a resurgence. Well, not even a resurgence because it wasn't really that popular at first, but you're seeing like a bump in popularity over the last maybe year or so. I think that, okay, so what got me, I did this gig back in 2008 with a guy by the name of Adam Klippel, jazz cat. And he was playing an electro, and the Rhodes on there, I just love the sound of the Rhodes. So, it was so smooth. It just, the phaser on it just was a crazy sound. And I remember him telling me about, the Nord Electro, and I just thought Nord made leads and so forth and so on. So I checked it out, and the price was a little high. So I said, I'm not gonna be able to.
Justify it.
I can't. At the time, I wasn't really working like that. I just was playing in church, so I couldn't afford it. So I just kind of hoped for it and blah blah blah. And then they came out with the stage, and I checked it out. And at the time, the keys felt a little bit weird, and I was still very much in love with the motif, so I didn't really bother. Fast forward, I started hearing gospel records that the piano sounded different. Like it wasn't just standard motif, your Kronos, and namely Travis Green's record. And when I saw the video of the kid, I said, yo, you know what? that Nord is kind of tough. So I started doing some homework, some research, and kind of eyeing it from afar. So fast forward to a couple of months ago, I had a chance to pick it up. I thought that I was buying it to get a variation from this piano, from the Korg.
From the old baby in the corner.
Love the joint, right? This is my cat right here. This is my thing. But the pianos I found, they were great, right? Really good, especially like when you're doing a dense mix, a busy music, and you want to cut through dope board. But when I want to be delicate, I found that I was kind of like cringing on certain records. Some folky stuff I was working on, some more of the not too gospely. Yeah. Some things I was doing.
So what, it was a little too heavy? The chord was
a little too much attack, a little too aggressive.
Yeah.
And like I said, hearing Travis Green's record and some other stuff, I just noticed that the piano was a little more woody. Mm-hmm. And on the piano I got at the church, the S6 Grand has that character. Really like the you can kind of, there's a earthiness to the piano. It's not as digital sound.
Yeah.
So that's what drew me to the board. So I thought I was buying a board, for a variation for the piano. of course, it doesn't help to have. Now, this organ, no keyboard manufacturer should be making organ. But
But
this
Nord.
joint right here, this cat I know that lives up here, he's got the C2, and he sent me a video with it plugged to a Leslie, and I was like, man, this is
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it has the C2 organ in there, so that was a plus. I can, do records with it when I can't hire an organ player to, do whatever. So I said, okay, cool. I got a very good piano, very good organ. Rhodes is good. I'm straight.
Yeah. How do you like the Rhodes compared to the Rhodes and the Kronos and like the Motif?
All right. So if I was to rank the three, it would be Kronos, Nord, Motif, or
okay.
Montage. Yeah, without a doubt. The Rhodes still, to me,
on the Kronos.
yeah, it's
yeah.
still. Now this is very good.
Very
so
good.
it'd be like 1A and 1B. Like it's not like they're
that far away.
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
none of them really are.
Yeah.
The Montage has a great Rhodes. The Motif has, decent Rhodes. This Rhodes is cool, but still, I would be partial to the Kronos. I had a friend of mine that was just really jonesing for the Kronos. We did this play in Manhattan, and the Kronos was on the rider, and he was like, "Yo, that sounds so crazy, man. I gotta have one." So I was like, "All right, well, you know what? My Kronos is running its course. Tell you what, I'll sell you mine for a very good price, and I'll take and put it toward this." So that's kind of like what we did.
Yeah.
And he's in love. He's happy. He loves playing with it. And I'm cool with what I got. But there are certain things that I miss about the Kronos that I probably would pick up like a 61 key.
Just to have it in the
Korg,
arsenal.
you should make a module.
Listen,
How about that?
there used to be a rule. Most of the keyboard companies, when they put out the keyboard, at least 3 to 4 years after, they would put out a module. I don't know what happened with Korg. Why
Korg,
they
can
never
we get
put
a
out
where's
module.
which camera is this one? Hey man,
Can we get a
can we get a
module?
Korg, can we get a Kronos module? Or
It's
something?
about time.
Or something new, but still like in this vein.
Yeah, module, man. Come on.
Yeah, because then I would definitely be.
You'd be straight.
I'd be on the hook. I don't really have the space for a 61 key, but I would get it. If the price was right.
Yeah.
And I sidebar, but I think the Kronos, the 61 key keyboards are really holding their value, because I can't find any under like 1,200, 1,500. They're all around 15, 16, some 2,000.
I think probably a lot of people are just MIDI-ing them. They're not. They already have their main board, so they just need it for a sound source.
Maybe.
That's why we need Korg to make
a
a module.
Now the pianos are plummeting. I've seen the Woodside pianos for like 1850.
Yeah.
So but that 61 key is holding its
holding
value.
its value.
Still, 15 and up. I'd like to be around like 11, 12, and then I'll pull the trigger. But this board is really, really dope. Like, I don't really have many complaints. I think one thing that I would wish for, I'm a stickler for like ADSR. I can't do that with the piano.
Or they don't allow you to
No,
do it.
their piano sound is their piano sound. And the only way you can adjust a piano is if you load a piano sample in the synth engine. Then you can tweak the ADSR stuff with that. And I have done that. They're Nord is very good with stuff on their website. Download plenty of sounds. Their sample editor is not compatible for the stage 3 yet, so I'm just waiting on that. Once I get that, it's a wrap.
So then you can go in your computer, tweak your sound, and then boom.
Load it in there. I can get any, I can load S6 piano, any Motif piano, piano from the Kronos, whatever, multi-layer sample, do what I got to do, get it right in the thing, and then just download it in the synth.
Dump it right in.
So I'm just waiting for that to happen. The piano sounds very good. Like I said, when you're playing delicate or playing where the music is more open, it's not as dense.
Go ahead, play a passage so they can kind of hear that.
So you hear that lag, right? At the end. So if I'm playing like I need that a little bit shorter, especially if I'm going to layer with some kind of module or something in my keyboard. This is going to hold, with other sounds are cutting off.
Yeah.
It doesn't make for
They
a good
don't
blend.
link. Yeah.
But what's crazy is, so getting into this, there's two panels, right? You have panel A and you have panel B, right? Now, why? Because I'm not going to front. I mean, it's actually easier than people think. It's different because we're so used to going into a screen and doing what we got to do and menu diving, and the layout is different, so it is confusing at first. But it actually took me less time to figure out everything and the workflow of the keyboard than it took me the Chronos or even the Motif.
I think the Chronos is the hardest of all of them. Unless you've come up in that Korg infrastructure, you kind of understand certain things.
Yeah, I would say the Chronos, and the close second is the Montage.
Yeah.
I was a little lost for a second with the Montage. And the V-Synth. It took me about a good 3 weeks to a month to kind of figure it out. But it took me about, I'd say a half hour, and just getting used to how everything was laid out. Once I've, got my mind wrapped around, going this way, I was good.
So what is that whole panel thing, dual key? What is that?
It's actually almost like two keyboards, man.
Oh, yeah?
That's what's crazy to me. So panel A allows you to have the organ, the piano, and the synth, right? All layered in one. So that's 3 different engines where you can get sound from. Panel B does the same thing. Organ, piano synth. Right? So now, if I'm going to turn this off. So this is just panel A. Right? Now, there's several different pianos that we can go to. So I'll just start. This is the one I just partial to. But I'll start with white grand. Now, to me, if the piano was any more real, it would be real. Like, to me, that's pretty. I've recorded on real pianos. There's just a certain
sound
offness about it. Like, there's a lot of non-linearity that they've programmed or that they've sampled into the keyboard. And I appreciate that. You get a lot of rubs and stuff, in the sound, overtones.
Yeah.
So. That's a nice one. Right? Velvet grand. So if I'm playing quiet,
they give you dynamics.
You hear that? Like,
yeah.
Or slightly out of tune. To me, that's beautiful. It's not perfect, like ding. There's a weirdness about it. So studio grand. Right? So in the piano section, right? Those are the pianos that I've downloaded. Now you can go to Nord's website. I wish that the sample space for the pianos was a little larger, because there's some other pianos that I had to choose, like the greater of what I liked, and kind of commit to just what the hard drive can hold. This is another one. This would be like the German grand. This is the Steinway.
Grand Lady D.
I mean, that's like, it's crazy. So this is your CP80. Right? Nice. It's a decent sample. Now, here's what kills me about the Nord. What I really love are the uprights. They're unmatched.
Oh, yeah?
No one's close. I mean, and I'm not saying it because it's new. I'm not saying it, and that's another reason why I wanted a different piano, because there were records that I was working on where I didn't want a grand piano. I wanted something a little more intimate, something a little more like I'm doing. Darlene Love, her album, and she's doing this. It's gospel, but it's, Darlene Love is 70 something years old. She's not, she sang with Elvis and, Bruce Springsteen and,
she's still doing her thing.
Yeah, and she's not doing James Fortune like.
Yeah.
I don't need
in your face.
I don't need that, and she's doing a lot of like older gospel covers like Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, those kind of things, and I need an apropos piano
For that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that bright digital grand is not gonna cut it, and I don't have.
It's too big.
Right, and the budget is not there for me to go into a studio and cut piano for 11 songs. Like, I would be, you know what I'm saying? So this is a good compromise. So the piano, upright. This is one.
It's very tighter.
Now, growing up, in public school and going to the auditorium, that the piano sounds like that.
This has this tighter sound about it, not as spacious, not as
big, right?
Yeah.
A lot more intimate.
Yeah.
All right. Another one. That's beautiful.
Rain piano.
Another one.
Saloon piano, yeah, right.
All right. Okay, so now you get into the Rhodes, right? So this is still in the piano section, right? So we haven't done the organ stuff, we haven't done the synth stuff. We're just exploring the piano stuff. So all your grand pianos, anything keyboard, your claves, all that's going to be in the piano section. So Rhodes, there's a few Rhodes here, right? And they all come flat. They're not. There's no effects, no chorus, no auto pan, tremolo, none of that stuff. All right. So that's one Rhodes, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a whirly. So 5 Rhodes, 2 whirlies, clavinet. All right, so DX7. It's decent. Now, here's what I found was interesting. They have Roland sounds in here. Right, so I think this is like this sounds like an M1. This is very Korgish. We all know what that piano is. I did not put that. I didn't load anything in it. This is factory. Right? So, I mean. So if you're looking for that piano just to have, that's nice. That's your digital EP. That's one. Another. Another. And then that's it. All right, so that's your piano section. I won't necessarily cover the organ section because, I mean, an organ is an organ. It sounds pretty good. You got your, vibrato, turn,
At the end of the day, it's a very convincing organ. I've seen a lot of people use them on sessions.
I was about to say, especially if you're cutting a record. Now, I can't even lie. I have put it on, there's a few people that I call. There's really only one guy I call to do organ.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a beast, and
Yeah.
I love the way he cuts. So when I can afford him, when the budget permits, hey man, listen, I got another track
Mm-hmm.
coming your way. He gets it back to me, great. But I can't always do that.
Yeah, depending on the budget.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is a nice way. Now Logic has a pretty good organ too.
Yeah.
I've snuck that in a couple of records as well. But this is a bump up from Logic. You got overdrive, so you can really make the organ dirty.
Yeah.
Just don't. I would not expose it by itself.
Then it kind of starts to show its
Right, and it's not because of the tone wheel stuff. It's the Leslie.
It's the Leslie effect.
When it's fast, it's like,
yeah.
you can kind of tell.
They don't give you a way of going in and tweaking.
You can.
Turning the speed, the top speed down.
I'm going to show you. So we're going to now. Here's one thing that I would wish was a little bit easier, and I can understand why guys kind of don't like the layout, because there's a lot of button pushing. Even though everything is pretty streamlined, there is a few things that you get to where you have to use two hands to get to. Sometimes you can do like that, but you'd be surprised how in the way your hands become to turn this. If I'm playing and I want to tweak or do something, I have to either do that or do it with my left hand, which is cool, but it's just a little awkward.
Yeah.
But you're going to hold shift, right? You're going to go to system, and then you're going to use the page button.
Start going through pages.
And see the rotor, you start adjusting stuff. All right. Let me get to, where is it at? Sound, maybe. Sorry. Okay. So, organ, so you hit shift, sound, right? You get to the organ section.
You got different tone
wheels,
sets,
right?
Yeah. Clean,
Vintage 1, vintage 2. I prefer the vintage 2. Now, once you set this, it's set. Like, you can't do it per organ sound. This is like a global thing,
yeah.
right? Organ click. So when you play, you hear the tackiness. I kind of don't like that, so I have it on low.
Well, that's really a flaw in the organ, but people began to like it. And when people started coming out with digital organs, they took it out. People like, yo, where that click noise?
Yeah.
But it's really a flaw because it's the actual contacting, making that noise.
Okay. Now, I don't like that, though.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
That's why we do bus bar jobs, to clean out organs, to clean that up.
Okay. I just learned something. That's what's up. Organ key trigger point. I'm not 100% sure what that is. And the manual is not even that big, so you can. And I'm not an organ dude like that. So.
Okay, I think what that is, key trigger point high. If you go at your organ at your church and you just take your hand and start going down, the contacts start coming in. Some people like it to contact further down, but some people like it to contact high.
Okay.
So that usually that's what that kind of means, the trigger point, as far as where it starts hitting. Because even Ham and their synthetic organs have a thing where it's synthetically, you start hearing the contacts coming in as you start to push down on the key.
Okay.
So it depends on your technique. Some guys like to hear it at the top, high, but some guys, the way they play the organ, their technique, they kind of dig into it, and they're used to kind of feeling it almost at the bottom.
Yeah, I just turned it to low. When you said that, I adjusted it to low because I like that. I want to feel that.
Feel down.
I don't want to just touch it and it's a sound.
Yeah, because it doesn't. For some people, it doesn't feel. And every organ is a little different because you have key wear. So as those contacts wear a certain amount when they hit, they're all different. They're just all slightly different.
And that's what I like about real instruments, not digitals, because you said every organ is different. That means I have this organ. It's not going to sound like that organ. We know it's an organ, but there's different anomalies.
Because it's all handmade, all hand done. So it's
and that's beautiful. And that's why I've been getting into analog synths. So that then the rotary speaker type, Leslie type. So I chose a 122. Right, it was only one, but close.
Yeah, close.
All right.
Because the ventilator gives you that option of being mic'd close, being mic'd far, where you get more of the room. With the close, it's like almost like the mic is right up against the Leslie, so they'll give you a tighter sound, especially if you're dropping it in a mix. You don't want it kind of washy in a room like that.
No, and I just preferred it that, like, when I first got it and I got into the organ, I was excited about the organ. Hey man, this organ sounds pretty good. Let me set it up.
Yeah.
Kind of like the way just my ears. Horn ratio.
Yeah.
I like the more
split.
bass.
Yeah.
I like dirty, heavier organs. I don't like bright. Super bright organs.
Like the older one.
Rotary speaker speed, I chose low. And the acceleration, so you just hit
slow,
the corresponding buttons.
So it comes up slow,
Right.
Ramp speed.
And I'd had the top speed slow, because just the fast, it just sounded too cheesy. It was like
Some people don't get that right. It's like a certain frequency that it should be. They used to, even back in the day, they used to have like a tack gun where you can set a Leslie, especially like the 122As, because the original Leslies, they just go as fast as the motor goes, and it's right. But the 122As, the speeds are adjustable. So some people would use a tack just to put on it, just to make sure. I mean, I've heard so many of them. I know it by ear. If it's too
of
fast,
course. You the organ
has
doc.
like this,
What you talking about?
this like irritating
You hear this guy?
sound.
he heard some. Yeah, you heard. You've been doing this for 35 years, bro. Of course. This. I mean, I don't need to play the organ. We all know what the organ sounds like.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's that. That's the organ section. That's the piano section. Now here's what killed me. With aside from the uprights and all that, when I got into I'm a synth guy. That is to the core of me, right? I'm an arranger and I'm a sound designer. That's what I do. And yo man.
Oh, so he got you good with that one.
Woo!
Huh? You wasn't expecting that.
No, what a pleasant surprise. I was not at any. This is why I was like, yo, we got to do a joint, because people don't know the synth capabilities of this board. Now I've seen a bunch of people play the organ stuff. I've seen a bunch of people play the piano stuff, and I haven't seen, and not even in gospel, just in general, like guys on Nord's website and so forth, people posting Instagrams. You don't see too much synth action going on, right? Wow, bro.
Now, would you say this is the synth engine that comes out of? You remember the first Nord lead?
It's not a Nord lead synth engine. It's the AL1.
Okay.
So it's like an analog modeler. Now, I was a little leery about that, and that's why I didn't really give it too much thought, because I have analog boards. So I'm not going to use a virtual analog if I have a real analog sitting in front of me. But I was pleasantly surprised, and there are 3 sections, or there's actually more than 3 sections, but there's a few variations of synth capabilities, right? So let's get into that now. So I'll turn the piano off, and all you have to do, each zone has an on and off switch. So if I want to, so nothing's playing right now. I'm still on panel A. I haven't even touched panel B. Still on panel A, nothing. I turn the organ on. All your drawbars. All right, whatever. Then there's a Vox organ. Farfisa, which is just like the little tabs. And pipe organ. And the second pipe. All right, so that's off. Turn that off. Now nothing. Piano. Turn that on. Just went through all that. Right? Off. Turn the synth on. All right? Now, here's what's dope about the synth stuff. The synth has its own patches. So if you want to just scroll through, but now, I've tweaked some stuff and made some of my own patches. So this is a patch I made. Right? I mean, y'all all know I'm a pad.
Yeah.
Pads all day. Right?
Omnisphere, man.
Exactly. So now here's what I'm saying. Now I'm playing and I want to change, and now I got to reach over.
Yeah.
So that's a little frustrating.
I guess they have so many buttons. It's
Right.
like
Maybe if they had like a general value knob, you know how like
something like that funny knob that's on the new Montage or
even the Chronos has one. It has a value slider, so you can adjust the value, and it's right here instead of so you could be over here doing something, but it just adjust the value.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not a deal breaker.
Yeah.
You just got to get used to it. So here's a bunch of patches, right? And you can go on and on and on and on and on, right? Or you can let's initialize that, and that is going to be Shift, and then it's over here somewhere. Sound initialize. All right, so now nothing. So that's Shift, and then over here underneath the unison, sound initialize. And it takes some getting used to, just kind of seeing how things are laid out. Once you see that, it's pretty easy after that. So this is just now they have your regular classic analog modeling, like your waves, sine wave, sawtooth, triangle, square, right? Your basic synthesis. And I encourage everybody, if you don't know about synthesis, just do your homework. There's some excellent videos on YouTube. Some of them are long and a little boring, but
but you need that background, the education.
Right. Just do the homework, yo. You'll be stop paying somebody else for what you could do for yourself. I'm gonna stop. All right, so the sine wave, triangle, saw is where we get all our synth brassy, stuff. So saw, square, pulse wave again, another type of saw, another type of square, right? Then we got wavetable, right? So wavetable is like, it's kind of hard to explain, but if you use if you look at the
old Korg
wave station, the Waldorf microwave, right, you get this wavetable-y stuff happening, almost borderline DX7-ish. All right.
Wow.
Now these are all just elements; they're not patches. You have to build from these elements. So again. And I'll show you a sound that I made from this. There's another EP, DX.
So how many different elements does it have in there?
That's what I'm saying. So we just did 2. We're gonna go to the formant. See, like your vocally type thing. All right.
Like that old board that Yamaha made, that module formant.
Which one is that?
You don't remember it was a module that kind of like almost did like those vocally type sounds. It didn't really get a lot of traction.
No, I didn't even know anything about it. Then you have Super Saw, right? Roland made this famous.
Yep.
All right. So Super Wave. And then your sample engine. So that's where you get like your rompler stuff, strings.
Oh, okay.
Bunch of strings happening. All right, and on and on and on and on and on. And these, what's good is you can erase the sample stuff completely and set up your own. So you can load your own samples in here, and the sample library would be what you got going on.
How much sample memory does this have?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's like 2 gigs.
2 gig.
I think. I'm not a tech guy.
I think I vaguely heard that somewhere, but I guess somebody will put it in
the comments. Yeah, leave it in the comments. Is your woodwinds? It's very, meat and potatoes. Is your brass?
Okay, here's that question that everybody asks. Does this board have any polyphony issues when you're running all of this stuff?
Okay, so yes and no. No, in the sense that, like the Korg, each engine has its own polyphony.
Okay.
So you're not going to get jammed up because you're using a piano and a synth and an organ. However, the synth has, I think it might be like 30 notes or something like that. But I haven't run into anything. It was like, yo, come on, man. But to be completely honest, I only used this in church twice. First time I used it in church, I hated it. And I had to kind of rework some things and change some things. So the second time, I was good to go. But this is my home board. I'm not taking it out like that. And I'm a producer.
Mostly use this for production.
So this is studio. So I'm not doing a whole lot of like layering, like that. So the polyphony is not really a problem. And I use the synth stuff, but only in a specific niche. Like I have synth brass, like an analog board for the heavy lifting synth stuff. But these are nobody should be putting these kind of brass on records anymore. I just want to put that out there.
Those days have come and gone.
No,
unless you're doing an 80s record.
For real though, we're gonna do the plug. Bishop Michelle White Haynes is doing a throwback concert on Sunday, the 1st. I don't know if this will be out by then, but
we'll see.
Throwback. They got me playing aux.
Got you playing
aux. Shoot.
Who else?
I've been demoted. And I'm gonna
get off the mains. Get over there to the aux.
I'll play. But I'm gonna be using some of those horn patches. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time.
So they said Hez is supposed to be there too.
He's gonna be there. There's gonna be a few people. I think Milton Bigham is supposed to be there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Albert Jameson's supposed to be there. Bishop Jameson. He's gonna be there. So it's gonna be pretty dope, man. It's gonna be fun. I've been having a good time. Just playing some of those old songs.
Old stuff, man. Bring back memories.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So, on and on and on. It's got some Mellotron stuff in here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're pretty thorough. They give you a lot of.
Yeah. It's got some bells.
Now, as far as I know, you can download sounds. They have samples where you can download into there also.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I downloaded the Yamaha. There's a Korg M1.
The old M1.
Here's the Yamaha, I think. That's the MK80. It's named Piano 80. But we all know what that is. DX7. Some harmonicas and stuff, some voices. And these are just the raw waves. They sound choppy because you have to build them. Like I said, Mellotron stuff.
This board is pretty thorough, man.
Very
thorough. A lot of stuff in there.
Very thorough. All right, so let's get to the good part, right? So, got the 3 sections. So then you start putting the sections together. And I'm still on A. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, what do I have here? Let me turn this off. This is A.
Check.
Of course. I'm going to name the sound how.
Yeah, how it's hitting
how
you feel.
How I remember. Right, so this is just on channel A. Now, what I like about this is I got the LFO connected to the mod wheel. Right? But I also have, now this is what I love about this Nord board as well, this vibe effect here. Right? So if I just play the straight, I turn this vibe, it's like almost like a detune, like a drift. It's basically a vibrato, right? Now I do that. Anybody who's been in a service I play that, I do that I play with that all the time with the pitch bend. So to have the keyboard do it for me is great without me having to buy a vibrato pedal.
Yeah.
It's great. So turn this up, right? You can speed it up, the rate, turn it down. So what I did was I have it set to 0, so I can play, but I have this morph assignment where aftertouch now controls vibrato.
So
Right.
that's how you use aftertouch to control stuff.
Right. So you hold aftertouch or whatever parameter you want, aftertouch, and then touch the parameter you want to assign.
Oh.
Okay. So then I'll just turn it up just to be exaggerative. I'll turn it up, and when I push down, now you hear it. While I'll turn the speed up so you can hear it. So straight. All right. Push down. So now I can get a wobble without having to use the mod wheel and not having to sacrifice the LFO. So if I want a solo, right? If I want a solo, I can use the mod wheel, and if I push down, it's just different. It's a different texture. Also, you hear the delay. So I assign the delay parameter on this. So B just has a synth, just a saw. I'll let you hear what that sounds like on this on. Turn these off. So that's like. Right? I'll turn B off. Here's A. Turn that back on. I just have that nice underneath. And you know, guys should, I always say, like, do your homework. You know, Chick Corea has a video called Keyboard Workshop, and he goes through how he makes his sounds. You know, he's got a TX816 and the module joint.
Oh, the one, the 8, the 12, what is that? I used to have one, TX.
I think it's 816 or 818 or something like that.
812. Yeah, I used to have one of those. You just put all the modules in, and
it's like
you plug that
DX7s.
thing up. Oh my God, that thing is massive.
Yeah.
And you detune each of them slightly,
and you get this.
And this thing is just so
What'd you do with that?
big and huge. I ended up getting rid of it. I wish I would have kept it.
Yeah.
You had 8 modules in there going, and you had a sound slightly detuned. That thing was so
Where's that?
big.
TX816. Where's it at?
Oh, 816. That's where you were throwing me off. Because it's 8 modules, 16 notes polyphony per module. So it's the TX816.
Need that. That one's going for like 1100, right? Oh, they wildin'.
See, when I got mine, I bought the chassis, and then I searched and found modules for like $200 each, and just started filling it up. Okay. So I got 8 of them in there.
So here's what happened. I was going to get one, and more research I found. I don't like headaches. Like we was talking about the new car. Like I don't like to look over my shoulder. I want to just get in the drive or turn it on and play.
Yeah.
And I found out that the
batteries die, and you lose your patches.
So I was like, oh no, I'm cool. I'll love it from afar, but I'm not gonna.
You'd have to change the batteries and everything, and then get the programmer and reload all the sounds into it.
It's not for a 30-something year old.
That's a headache. Yeah.
No, I was jonesing hard. I bought a Juno 60. I was hyped. Oh man, Juno 60 is fat. I'm about to go crazy. Yo man, it was just. Yeah. I was like, this is not practical. When those
batteries go dead, I go down to Armin. Yo, Armin.
Yeah. I fix it for you. But
charge you a
it's going to cost.
Grip.
Yeah, no, I'm good. So it's okay. He's my friend. He knows I kill him all the time.
Cool, man. We good.
So I have this down low, right? That's your, nice glassy. All right, gives me a nice little tack. Turn it down. Okay. On the synth side, I have that formant, that EP, the Wave EP. That's your DX7. So what I have here now is this is connected. I have the delay set to synth. So each parameter or each effect can be selected to, you have to hold shift. Either you want it for the organ, piano, synth. right? Then effect 2, organ, piano, synth. Effect 3, or delay, organ, piano, synth, EQ, organ, piano, synth, right? So I have the delay set where it's not playing, it's on a aftertouch morph. So here's aftertouch and then delay. See that light, that green light shows that it's being morphed somewhere, right? But via the wheel, aftertouch, or a control pedal. So I have it set so nothing, right? I got some reverb on. I'll turn the reverb off. Right, so when I push down, now I get the delay.
Yeah,
See, this allows me to express myself without delay being all in my way.
Yeah.
I've turned on some
You
reverb.
can turn it on when you need it.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it's delaying. The delay is out there, but I'm still moving.
You're still moving. It lets go, unlatches, and then lets you keep going.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So we add everything together, and we get this sound. Right. And on and on. And I always make the same.
Hornsby Honor. Ah.
I mean, it's the same. I mean, that's that. I make the sound everywhere, every keyboard. Now, one thing I wish, they gave me more slots per.
Just set up.
So what it is you get, it's I think it's like up to M. I think A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to M. I believe it's like the last bank. And that's cool, but it starts back at 1. So once I get to 5, I got to hit page, and it goes to the 2s. Yeah. But it doesn't go to like 10. It's like 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. So it kind of gets a little. Now this is the tacky digital piano I loaded in. And this is just good for layering. I never play it exposed. It's always just
tucked in somewhere.
Somewhere else. Okay, so now let's get to the stuff that I've been really getting. What got me? So I built the sound from the ground up. Right, I named it Sea Foam because that's what it made me feel like. It made me feel like I was looking at a body of water. And you ever seen the
the foamy water? Yeah.
So now I have. All right, so there's nothing, right? Panel A, turn the synth on. Now I have the LFO set to sample and hold, so it does it randomly. So it's moving the parameters randomly, right? Turn the reverb off. So it's giving my sound some motion, some movement, right? Reverb on, right? Turn that off. This is B, part B. Just a nice little pad underneath.
Yeah.
Right? Now, what's dope about this board too is I can change this, how can I explain it? All right, so let's do this. This is the sample. This is the sound. I select shift. It gives me another option. So now I can, almost like a second oscillator. And then I can mix between the two. So I can play that side. So if I want to go. All right. And then I can do another one, different waves. Right. So it gives me a nice little mix there. Let me go back to my original sound. All right. So what I did was on panel A, I assigned aftertouch to this oscillator. So now when I push down, you're going to see the mix fade move. So right here, see this? That's the sound. Like you hear the fifth playing gently, but now as I push down, you only hear the fifth. You know what I'm saying? That's another sound. This is another sound I use in anticipation if I was at church. So I named it Let Me Play because I have it on keyboard hold, right? So the pad is playing. And again, I have some movement just so it's not static.
Yeah.
And I assigned the auto pan so the sound is constantly going back and forth. So you're not getting bored with just a static sound. Right?
Yeah.
Turn on panel B, and I got me a little lead sound. So I can play like some synth-based stuff. You know, if I want to turn on panel B, if I want to turn the delay off and just rock out like almost like a synth bass. Another pad. Now I did not make this one. This was a factory preset that I just love so much. I was like, I gotta save this.
Weightless patch.
Beautiful. Here's another one I made from the ground up. Right. It's a pad. Push down. Get more arc. So now I can be playing. Laying in the cut. Somebody talking. And I've actually used this on some records already. Just moving. And let's say, you know, our church is very like prophetic. So if he's flowing like that and I'm moving, and he says, oh, so and so and so and so, then I can, and they come back. You know, and it's not static. It's based on my emotion, how I feel. I push down, it responds.
It responds.
You know,
changes accordingly.
Here's another good one I made. Actually, I tweaked it and just renamed it. So this is an organ. This is an organ patch. Right? It's an organ and a synth.
Pipe organ.
It's a pipe organ with some reverb. I assigned the pipe organ. I assigned the vibe, right, to the organ. Right? So now when I push down, you're going to get some modulation on the organ. Right? Add the synth back. So some noise. It's another sound. Some of these sounds are just like layered stuff. They go underneath, you know, whatever. It's a good one. Factory preset. There's another one I made. Now, the Phantom, and I think it might have been before that, like the RD700, the original, the first RD700 had a sound called Silky JP, which is like a Jupiter kind of like sound. Again, just, you know, just use your ears. You know kind of how sounds are made up. You can kind of duplicate the sound and get it close as you want. Again, the same effect, push down, delay, all right? Close two-face. Again, two sounds can be mapped to my wheel. So if I'm playing, one sound. Mix them together. You know what I'm saying? Another nice one. You know, and on and on and on. Get to some synth stuff. This is cool. Another one I made. Again, I name it how I visualize the synth. So it's called Dirt Synth.
It's nasty.
Yeah. It's another nice one. Using the format. I want to get to. There's a sound that I made. Where is that sound? Here's another one. Scribbles. So this is a sound. So now what's cool is the tape delay, or not tape delay, analog delay. If you fool with the feedback and the tempo, when an analog delay, when you're changing the speed, it gives this weird windy sound. So I just programmed that to the my wheel. It's a trick most lo-fi hip hop dudes, keyboard cats know how to do. Right? That's just straight. Right?
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's crazy.
Just something to show the guys like, yo, it's not just a board for piano. Like, don't buy the board. Just think like, I'm gonna get this board because I seen.
That's all you thinking about is the piano in there.
There's a lot in here. You know what I'm saying? So I find myself not even really using. I mean, I use the piano obviously, but I find it's a very good complement to my other synths. I do MIDI, so a lot of these sounds, I have like the analog board underneath, like a deeper, thicker pad or something, and then have this on top, and then I'll track the two together. And then mix them individually. But just the performance aspect, I can play it together. So, there's another one. It's a killer board. You know what I'm saying? The price tag is hefty. And
what does this go for about right now?
45.
Okay, now this is the stage 3. Now they have a stage 4?
No, they have a piano 4.
Yeah, they have that new grand piano that uses the Kawai action.
They have that one. That's the Nord Grand. Then they have the Nord Piano 4, which
is and that one just really just piano. It's not all this.
There's no organ. It has a sample bass synth engine just for some basic layering, but nothing crazy.
So this
not like this.
Covers a lot. This board covers a lot of stuff.
Yeah, this is your one-stop shop. This is your chameleon. This is like, because they make the Nord lead, which is dope. They make the Nord AL1, which is like more like analog modeling. Then they have the Nord Electro, which is obviously like a piano, organ,
like a combo keyboard to carry around for gigging.
And that has some synth stuff too. The Nord Piano. Their products overlap a lot, which is kind of good but kind of bad at the same time. This has almost everything of every keyboard.
So this board pretty much covers the gamut.
Yes.
Pretty much of
Yes.
everything. Now, you use it for mostly composing, but do you see this as someone can gig with it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you got to know. So I know a lot of guys are starting to really use that ADSR thing for their pianos. So I want to just be, off the rip. That's not there. So don't buy the board and then be like, oh, shoot.
like, oh, man, I can't do my cutoffs.
You're not going to be
There's
able
been a growing debate online about that. Oh man, people are overdoing it.
Yeah, I mean, I heard guys, it's like the piano has no life. What are you doing?
you just,
I mean,
just
crazy.
chops it off as soon as you hit the note. Whoop.
Hey man, whatever works for you, then whatever.
Now, another interesting question a lot of guys are going to ask, the key bed, the touch, how you feel about it? Because, all keyboards have their own touch. Korg has great sound, but a lot of people don't like the touch of it. Yamaha's kind of middle of the road, great keyboard, great sounds. So how do you rate their keyboard?
All right, I would rank now. Phaetar makes a lot of these keyboards.
Yeah, I know. There's only a few companies that make their own. Like I think Yamaha, they make their own.
So I was gonna say, I would, if I was to rank them personally, I'm not affiliated with anybody per se. I have relationships with some companies, but not.
They don't control your mouth.
Right, not to the point where I can't be like
honest.
Yeah.
And that's what people want. They want you to be honest. They don't want you to be controlled and driven by a company.
Yeah, because that's disingenuous.
Yeah.
Exactly. I hear people talk bloviating about this company or that, and it's like, you don't even believe that yourself. Get out of here. Why is that keyboard in your room if you're talking about this? But
we've seen that time and time again.
I would say the Yamaha plays the best
as far as feel.
Yeah. And like, I'm a big aftertouch guy, so for me to dig in the board and move, and Yamaha still feels the best. Then this, then the Kronos, then the Phantom. That was the worst keyboard I ever played on the piano.
What, the Roland Phantom?
The G8?
The G8? Keyboard just wasn't.
Nope. This is cool. The Kronos is cool. I gotten used to the weight, and it's good for practice. Like, once you get going on that board, I was playing at home, and I get to church on a Yamaha and be flying. This is cool. This is a little lighter than the Yamaha, I feel like.
A little lighter.
But it's still heavy, but it is on the lighter side.
On the lighter side.
So it's an adjustment,
Almost like a Steinway. Like when you play a Steinway, it just has a lightness about it. Real.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Yeah, because there are different elements to these keyboards, and like people that are rolling lovers. And me and you, we're both rolling lovers, but you have certain aspects. I love this that you guys do, but hey, I wish you guys would change this, because we all have to be honest. There is no perfect board.
No.
There's no perfect board. If you think you're going to go in the store, just give me that board and it does everything perfect, everything that I want. No. That's why people have multiple boards.
Yep.
This board does one thing, this board does another thing great, and so on and so forth.
Yep. I mean, so at home I have this. Okay, so it's been a minute since we've come together. A lot has changed. So I got rid of my 3080. I do not own
no more 3080. Oh my God.
I do not own a 3080 at home. I sold my last one, and I had one at church, one in the rack, and one under the bed. I've since sold
all three of them.
Well, no, the one at the church I gave to the church, so that's the church's. The church, I wanted it so that if I left, had a gig or did something, I wasn't there, the church still had a sound.
Yeah.
So that's there. But as far as me personally, I don't have one. I don't travel with one.
You just feel you've just moved on.
I've just
from that?
outgrown it. But I do use Rolling Cloud, and the 1080 on there is very good.
That Rolling Cloud thing is really a nice thing. Yeah. Guys, if you want access, but you don't want to go out and buy a board, and how much is it a month?
It's $19 a month, or $20 a month. It's like $19.95 a month, and then after 12 months, you get to pick any VST out of the cloud you want.
And you own it.
I'm only using it for, well, I'm lying. I'm using it for the 1080 and the D50. Because I still use some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I had a D550. I had a couple of those racks.
Yeah.
I love that sound. When it's right, it's right. Like, if you find the right sound on that board for whatever song you're working on,
is what. Yeah, it
perfect.
is what it is. Yeah.
So I got rid of the 3080. I have this board at home. I have the Dave Smith and Tom Oberheim OB6, which it's amazing. And I have this sub 37. So
sub 37.
this takes care of synth bass, leads, that kind of stuff. The OB6 takes care of synth brass, the dark analog pads, some lead line duties, some synth bass, arpeggio stuff, synth effects, noise, filters, sweeps, and all that kind of stuff. I do all of that on the OB6. And then this does piano, Rhodes, some organ, and that ethereal kind of patty, spacey stuff.
So you kind of got pretty much all your bases covered.
With all of that, plus Omnisphere and Rolling Cloud. And then after that, it's pretty much, that's just it. I don't have much.
Now, you're not using Keyscape, are you?
I do have Keyscape. I bought Keyscape last summer because I was working on this project and I needed like some upright and some intimate stuff. And Keyscape is tearing my computer up.
What do you mean?
I can hardly run it. It's my computer be choking.
Oh,
I got 8 gigs of RAM,
a hungry,
a terabyte hard drive, terabyte solid state hard drive.
You probably need about 16 gig in there.
It's killing me. So I don't use it. I hardly use it.
Yeah.
And that's what really made me be like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna get because I need that upright piano.
Yeah. It's a heavy program.
Yep.
Very heavy program.
So I have Trillion. Poor thing. I haven't used Trillion and I don't know when.
Man, I still got Trilogy, man, and I lost my license, whatever. I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, I use it every once in a while. I use it like for church, like if I'm programming a song for the choir, and I always program bass, even though we have a bass player. Always program bass. If he's not there, I can just unmute it.
Yeah.
And the slap bass on that joint is, Trillion got some mean live bass stuff.
And we want to encourage all you musicians.
Not cracked.
Buy your software. Don't.
God is watching you.
Buy your software.
You are stealing. I did it.
See, I always would buy my software. Because I always like the fact of having support. If I run into a problem, I could pick up a phone. Hey, man, this ain't doing it. So I never did, but I run a lot of guys. That's their way of life. They've never bought a program in their life.
No, that's not a good look. It says a lot. I mean, I hate to be like this, but it says a lot about your character.
Yeah.
Because if you're cheating with that, you're cheating on your taxes. You're not paying your parking ticket.
It's just one thing that leads to many.
It's a fact, though, right? That's a fact. I mean, listen. I had cars booted, towed, repoed. Like, I experienced nothing. I just saw my accountant yesterday, and he's like, "Yo, Rand, I'm telling you, order brings because he's getting my stuff tight. He's helping me develop some stuff and get me ready for the next level." He's like, "Yo, God's not gonna give you $1 million and you can't handle it.
You can't even manage it.
Get out of here." He said, "Order brings peace." And if you got a certain peace in your life and you're not looking over your shoulder, wondering if the IRS is going to come and take your money, throwing you in jail, like there's just a freedom that you have and you can just, create and just do.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get it straight. You know what I'm saying? And it starts with little things like, yo, just buy it. It's you put $150 on your feet. Like, just take the money and just, whatever, man. We here for keyboard. I'm not preaching.
But man, like I said, this board is very interesting. I've been seeing a lot of places, and we see our boy Mike B playing it, and a lot of other people have been playing it, and it's been getting.
I think Kevin Powell's with them.
Yeah, Kevin Powell. Yeah, he's with them. That dude, Jesus Molina. There's just so many people.
That dude is. If I ever see him, I'm gonna cut his fingers.
He's amazing.
Crazy.
But I even noticed on their website they're doing a lot of videos and really showing different guys doing different stuff. And really, they're just showcasing.
That dude, Justin Pollock?
Yep.
He's dope, too.
Yeah.
Hip-hop cat. Jazz. He's really a jazz cat. Because he's got stuff from, like, 10 years ago. He's playing trio stuff on YouTube. Killing.
Wow.
Yeah, he's dope cat. Dope cat. So, but like I said, a lot of those guys show the Nord, but they didn't show it in this light.
Yeah.
And I felt like, you know, guys at least should know, like, it's not just this type of board. It's also
all the capabilities and what you can do.
you can do a lot of stuff with it. Do a lot, you know, a lot more than just lo-fi hip hop. A lot more than just gospel. You know, you can do some. You know, I'm into film score, very ethereal film scorey type stuff. You can get. I mean, I didn't even dig into it. I just kind of browsed through some of the stuff I made. It's very deep. It's a deep board. So hopefully that helps guys at least know what they're buying.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a $5,000 keyboard after tax.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You have to see value. But when you just see that price tag and you just look at this as a piano, of course it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Man, I'm not going to pay all that money for a piano. But when you explained all the different sections and how they work together, the keyboard does a lot. It's not just the piano keyboard.
It's a dope board, dope keyboard.
Yeah. But all right.
All right.
Thank you, man. And
No
you
doubt.
got to come back. You're going to show us some stuff on the Sub 37. Yeah, I need you to load some sounds in there for me, man. Do some
The
programming.
Sub 37?
Yeah, put some stuff in there for me.
You know that thing is really it's really one note. I mean, you can get creative with it, but it's really just it. Like a cat is a cat, and it's just that.
It is what it is.
You know, so once it has a texture, it has a sonic footprint, and it's just, you know, it's different than the Model D. It's different than the Voyager. You can justify having all three.
You can justify having all three because they do different things. Aside from the more expensive ones have the extra oscillator. This only has the 2 oscillators, correct?
Right.
The other ones have 3.
But it's dual phonic.
Yeah.
So and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, I would not have paid. I got mine off Reverb. Yo, the dude, I got it from this kid, this guy, a Broadway programmer, and he said he bought it, wound up not needing it, set it on the stand, and never touched it. When I got it, it was brand new. He sold it to me for $950.
Wow.
Brand new, never registered it, nothing. I bought it, registered it, no hiccups, no glitches, nothing. I wouldn't have paid $15 for it.
Yeah. I actually got that one for free. So
get out of here. We're not going to ask you on camera how that happened, but I will surely want to.
You know, stuff happens.
Yeah, this is a dope keyboard. I don't like the keyboard on it.
You don't like the keyboard?
No, so I have it MIDI to my OB6. So my setup is like, you know, piano, OB6, sub over here, and this is MIDI, so I can just turn it up and down, change my sounds, and play up here. The keyboard on the OB6 feels really nice. I'm going to get either like a Chrono 61, you know,
Just
or like a
fill
Prophet
that
12.
palette,
Or something like that. I mean, we all like keyboards, but at some point we should talk about like how guys are capturing, because I just want guys to be better.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just this keyboard, it's the wires you use, the direct box or the preamp.
Yeah.
EQ.
Like we've got this running through a man lead, through the Aval.
Right.
Different things you use to really upgrade your tone.
Right, and it helps you be you.
Yeah. Because I saw a guy, give him a shout out, Daquan Boeing. He did a video on YouTube, and he said, when you think about your sound, a lot of you guys just think about your approach to playing. But he says, no, it's your sound, the way you set up your instrument, that gives you your uniqueness. And I said, you know, that's really true. It's not just your approach and your technique, but it's your instrument, the way you set it up.
Right, and if you don't, you know, a lot of guys, here's the thing, not to get too spiritual or, you know, philosophical, but guys, they don't pay for software. They don't invest. Like, stop using the Focusrite. I mean, that's cool for some kid in high school trying to figure it out. But if you're a professional, you shouldn't be using a Scarlett talking about you tracking for. That's crazy.
Or record.
Right? But the thing is, guys go the cheap route because they don't believe in the gift that they have. They don't believe that they're gonna make it back. So they don't view it as an investment. They view it as like a bill.
As a liability, yeah.
No, my gear pays for itself, yo. Flat out.
Yeah.
I buy something, I can justify it because I know I'm going to get that $5,000 back.
Yeah.
And after I get that $5,000 back, anything I've made after that $5,000 with this board is profit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to really, like I said, do your homework, dig in, commit to your gift. God gave you that gift for a reason. It's not just for you to be better than the next. It's for you to speak in the earth.
Have a voice.
And let me stop. Yeah, yo. Nah, I'm good. Be good. Be good.
But hey, we want you share this video, like it, thumbs up,
Yeah.
everything.
Let me
subscribe.
Let me just do this shameless plug. I'm gonna revamp my YouTube page. I'm gonna do a Patreon page. So stay and a Udemy. Because there's a lot of stuff that I get a lot of phone calls with guys. Yo, I need help with this. I need help with that. And there's a lot of things that we can't cover in this hour or so sitting here. But also, my wife and I are going to be starting a ministry in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's going to be geared toward musicians, singers, dancers, artists,
Wow.
where you can get some help to how to live. Because churches will use you for your gift. They'll let you play. They'll let you sing.
Don't
You can
care
live
about
any
your
kind of
life.
way, live foul, have your bills unpaid, live in, hand to mouth, and then they don't care if something happens. As long as you don't mess up their situation,
Their program.
they let you rock. But
Yeah.
you're going to die and go to hell. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just putting it out there that we come in to help,
Wow.
Yeah,
man, that's deep.
So
Man.
look out for that. 2020 will be out there. We're not trying to start nobody, not trying to steal no members. We're not trying to be a church.
Sheep stealing.
We got enough churches in Brooklyn. We're not trying to do that. We're just going to set up and help guys get some information on how to live better.
Yeah.
We're going to
That's
tell you the
it.
truth.
It's
Flat
a
out.
holistic thing,
Yeah.
not just.
Right. Because if this ain't straight, this is going to be off.
Mm-hmm.
You could be dope as you want, but there's going to be something off about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you can play all day long and wow the crowd and make people dance and shout, and God's going to be like, yo, check this out. I never knew you. Then what? Then what?
But people live in that moment of that accolade that they get in that moment and
Right.
not looking at the big picture that, hey.
Right. So thank you for the opportunity, the platform to put it out there. I just want to help guys live. I'm not
Yes.
perfect. I don't know all the answers, but I will tell you the truth. Because I tell myself the truth every day. I look in the mirror every day.
It all starts with us.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
My man.
As we say all the time, if you really want to play,
Don't play around.
don't play around.